I'm just missing my cats at the moment, to be honest.
Do you believe that the longer you stare at a cat's eyes, they can see your soul?
No.
Do you think that cats go to heaven?
No. I don't believe in heaven.
What about Rainbow Road?
What is Rainbow Road?
That's where all the pets go.
No.
Do you guys know about Kingpin Tattoo Supply? I don't know about you, but I'm ordering products every week from this company, that company. I got 1 million boxes coming. I don't want to deal with any of that. This place is a one-stop shop. I do not go anywhere else. I go to Kingpin. I order all my things. It comes in one box. I have everything I need to tattoo. It is the best. This is where you guys need to go. I can do you one better. If you use code CAMSUCKS, you get 20% off. There you go. What more do you need? Go there now. Bye. Have you guys heard about BookedIn? Well, let me tell you. BookedIn gives you your time back, allows you to focus on your clients and not your schedule. Also allows you to manage your time better. The app is very reliable, secure, and well-maintained. No clunkiness or glitchy settings. It gives you peace of mind knowing your business and clients are in good hands. Reduces no-shows, sends multiple emails and text reminders. I hate when my clients don't show up on time. Clients can even confirm their appointment via email or text, which saves me so much time. I don't have to call people to confirm if they're coming. No download or login required. Love that. Many online booking services force your clients to download an app and create a client login and password. Lame. They make it super easy for clients to book an appointment. 2 clicks and you're done. BookedIn is super easy to set up. It literally takes 10 minutes to get up and running and start taking online appointments. I bet it would only take me 8 minutes, dog. Work-life balance. You are busy and it's hard to balance everything between your various calendars, clients, just life in general. It's hard to manage everything effectively all the time. It's easy to forget to schedule personal things, and this causes unneeded stress. Hate unneeded stress. BookedIn syncs with pretty much all calendars and automatically blocks off time. If you have something in your other calendars, it really helps work-life balance. It makes it much easier to manage your life. For me, this is an amazing tool. I do not like wasting time. I want peace of mind. I don't want double bookings. I want something that takes care of all that for me. BookedIn is the place. And now if you use code CASTLE, you get 75% off for 3 months. Check it out. Are you tired of using ink bottles that are spelled correctly? Do you find yourself texting during ad reads for companies? Well, I do, and that's why I use Allegory Black. Are you tired of your black arms looking blue? Do you suck at tattooing and you want to get better? Use Allegory Black. Allegory has normal black and ultra black. Just when you thought it couldn't get any darker, they put out ultra black. Use Allegory ink. It's the best ink on the planet. Go to allegoryink.com and use discount code Unemployable for 20% off. I know, it's crazy. It's so much money. You really should pay full price, but we have a discount code. Right, Alex?
That's right.
We're live on the Unemployable podcast.
Yeah, we are.
Today we have Christian Boye, all the way from Germany.
Right next to Sweden and IKEA.
Where are you actually from?
I'm actually from Denmark, which is actually next to Germany and Sweden.
But everyone thinks you're from Germany.
Everybody.
Why is that?
My hobbies, I guess.
Go on.
Your looks?
No. I think everybody thinks that I'm from Germany because I look very white.
Right. I mean, when I first met you, I thought you were from Germany, but we were also in...
I was about to say we met in Germany.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. So, and then I was very excited for you to come, and I told everyone that you were from Germany.
Yeah.
Even a couple weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, he's great. He's German, you know.
I mean, that's kind of fine because like every time people kind of ask me like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Denmark. Oh, why do you guys put cheese in your pastries?
Right.
It's like an ongoing. That's kind of an ongoing joke from over here.
Right.
It has nothing to do with Denmark, to be honest.
It's an American thing.
It's 100% an American thing.
Like fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And freedom.
And you learned English growing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
We started learning. So in Denmark/Germany, you learn English from like 4th grade.
Okay.
And then all our movies are in English. Like everything. Like we watch the same shit like you guys do. We just have subtitles on it.
Nice.
And video games and all that stuff.
Cool.
Like I wasn't that good in school, but I was very good at playing video games.
So you became good at English.
It helps. Well,
Right.
somebody thinks I'm good at English, and somebody thinks I speak with a potato down my throat.
Because it's like an airy, like nasal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like that.
Right.
Kind of sound like hygge.
Hygge.
Have you experienced that here at all?
Hygge.
Yeah.
It was very nice when there was donuts the other day. That was kind of hygge.
Okay.
That's kind of hygge.
Right.
That we did it while we were working our asses off. That was not very hygge.
Yeah.
We did watch Harry Potter yesterday while working. That's kind of hygge.
Right.
And we did go out to dinner. That was really hygge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say.
Yeah, dinner was good.
Dinner was good.
Dinner was
Dinner was
fun.
awesome.
So part of the reason why I was so excited to have you here is because you also create content.
Yeah.
Obviously you tattoo, but that's not important anymore in our
At
world,
all.
right? Yeah.
That's like at all.
Right. Tattoos are amazing. It's that, dark art. Is that how you describe it? Dark art freehand?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. Just for whatever I can kind of draw, I want to do. And it just happens to be that my particular clientele only wants like the dark arts.
Right.
But if people come in and they want like more new school fantasy creatures or whatever, as long as I can draw it, I'm good with it. I just don't really get a chance to post that.
13 years you've been tattooing.
Yeah,
Right.
Coming up on 13 years, I think. Yeah.
When did you get into that style? Was it right away?
So when I started doing it, the first, like, right out the gate, I started doing freehand. Like, I didn't even do all that, small stuff you do in the beginning because I didn't have a real apprenticeship. I got fired too many times.
Right.
And then it was...
Wait, why?
Oh, because people are assholes.
Hygge.
Not anti-hygge.
Oh,
Straight
no.
up anti. Yeah.
No donuts, no Harry Potter.
There's no Harry Potter. There's a lot of very unpleasant people, and I think like if you go back like 13 years ago to how tattoo used to be, especially I can tell or I hear how it was here. It's kind of similar to how it was in the Northern European scene. Everything was very gate kept, and everybody is like enemies with each other.
Yeah.
And when I started, it was like doing the gang wars between the bikers and the immigrant gangs.
Sure.
And the bikers had a very strong hold on the tattoo industry at that point. So the places I was at obviously was some kind of affiliated in a little bit with everything. So it's also like if you're a little bit affiliated, you're also kind of living that lifestyle or whatever.
Right.
And I don't really live that lifestyle. I'm very soft.
Right. So, fired from all your apprenticeships.
Yeah, 5.
For being soft.
I would say for being
Or just
not being soft,
not
just being
involved.
so the thing is like one of the apprenticeships I had for like 2 or 3 months wasn't really an apprenticeship. I think they just wanted to hang around to pick up coffee.
Gotcha.
And then after a few months, the dude who told me that I was his apprentice, he was kind of not there anymore. And then I found out, oh, okay, so that's kind of like a whatever gangster biker thing. Like he couldn't be there anymore.
Right.
And then I had another.
You guys broke up?
We kind of broke. Well, he broke up with me without telling me. Like I kind of showed up at the studio.
He ghosted you.
He straight up ghosted me. Like this was before like social media. So this like he in real life ghosted me. And then the other dude at the studio, he was like, "Why are you even here like every day?" I was like, "Well, because he told me I was his apprentice." He was like, "He can't have an apprentice. This is not his studio."
He has
like,
another apprentice now.
Yeah, exactly. He's never had one. And then the other studio I went to was like the tattoo artist wanted to apprentice me, but the owner didn't want me around because he thought I was too soft. Like I was 17, I was just a puppy.
Yeah.
And then that didn't work out. Then I got to another place where they had like, I don't know what you guys call it, like A class in smoking weed. And he was very good at it. But
he was very good at smoking
extremely
weed.
good at it.
Right. A lot of practice.
A lot of practice, and I learned to practice a lot. But for him, because at this point I also had unmedicated ADHD, so like if you would tell me something, I would do like half that assignment, forget about it, and then jump to another thing. And I really wanted to show my worth or whatever.
Yeah.
But in his eyes, I seemed like a know-it-all. So he fired me to be like, oh, I can't teach you anything because you know it all. So that's number 3. Then on to number 4, which was horrible. I was there for 8 months. And the dude I was apprenticing under, you could tell that his apprenticeship had been like super traumatizing for him. And now it was very nice to have like a boxing pad to walk in the door. So he could kind of take all his trauma and
pass it down.
He could pass it down.
Right.
And after 8 months, and I was like slowly, like now is the time where I can maybe a little bit start to tattoo, he fired me. So it was good 8 months.
Yeah.
And then number 5 was actually the dude who smoked weed. He kind of told me that I could come to his spot again if I wanted to. And I did that for a little bit, but then quickly found out that had gotten even worse.
Yeah.
And I got really, really good at smoking weed.
Right.
So good that I got a psychosis.
Nice.
So I kind of had to...
Not everyone achieves that.
I know, but I was like really good at it. Like,
yeah.
You know, when you see, you know, monkey see, monkey do. So I see somebody who's like really fucking good at it. I'm like, I'm just going to follow you because you have years of experience and this shit is not going to hit.
And you're ambitious.
Exactly.
Right.
So ambitious that the wall's starting to speak to me.
Right.
Yeah. So that kind of fucked up. And then...
So 5 apprenticeships, fired 5 times.
Yeah, I would say the last one was kind of like fired, kind of like I quit kind of thing.
So 0 for 5. But that didn't stop you.
No, because I was fucked up in my head. So like I couldn't. So I ended up.
You thought that was just normal, like everyone goes through 5 apprenticeships.
No, but so here's the thing. I did this while I was 17. At this point.
That's young, yeah.
At this point, I've already been thrown out of 10th grade. And
wait, why?
I have unmedicated ADHD.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wasn't again. So from 10th grade, they were like, "Yeah, we can't do any more for you." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then my mom, she really, like, I have a very good family, a very good mom and dad.
Right.
And I told her from a very young age, I want to become a tattoo artist. And
So you knew?
I knew.
That's cool.
Yeah. I knew for all the wrong reasons. I can get into that. But she begged me to get an education before I pursue, like, the job of being a tattoo artist or whatever, because he's like, can you please just make sure you have something to fall back on? I was like, sure. And then I started going to business school, which is not like business school. It's more like you have to go to school so you can stand in a clothing store or whatever. Okay. And I was there for 2 or 3 months, and then they kicked me out.
For ADHD?
I was maybe just, like, I would come, and again, like, I wasn't motivated to be there, so I would go to the computer room, get a laptop, and put my headphones on and just watch movies the whole day.
You were learning English?
I was learning English. Right. 100%, I was just learning English. And then, like, I got kicked out of that, and then the whole, like, tattoo apprenticeship started. And then after all that, that's maybe, like, that whole shebang took maybe, like, 1.5 years. Okay. And I ended up sitting in my bedroom at my parents' house in the basement. I was like, I've been thrown out, like, of any education I've ever, like, tried. I can't be, like, part of normal society. I don't want to be a carpenter because, like, I just don't want to do that shit, right? At the moment, I'm fucking psychotic because I've smoked too much weed, so the fucking walls are talking to me, and everybody's like telling me I will never become a tattoo artist. So powered by hatred
and weed.
And no, I stopped smoking weed because the walls were talking to me. Then the computer talked to me and was like, at that point, you know, you could still learn pretty much whatever from YouTube. So I just looked up how to tattoo.
Right.
And I learned how to tattoo more or less in that basement for like a little year, 8 months or something. And then a bunch of shops started to reach out and was like, hey, do you want to come and work here? And I was like, I'll come work, but I'm not going to be an apprentice. I'm a tattoo artist if I start there. And they were like, sure, because I from like the beginning, at that point, 10 years ago, being good at tattooing wasn't super hard to achieve.
Right, the bar was low.
The bar was low. So it was easy enough for me when I was actually getting quote-unquote good at tattooing to be good at tattooing. So I got hired as a tattoo artist like after 8 months. So I kind of skipped the whole apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And got clean or whatever.
Yeah.
At least from weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right away, were you gaining any traction or following from your artwork?
No, because like the whole, I would say like Facebook, Instagram thing, I kind of got into a little bit too late compared to you guys over here, I think.
Yeah.
So I remember getting tattooed in Germany.
Where you're from?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I would fly from Denmark to Germany to get tattooed by a dude called Tommy Lee Wettner,
Okay.
who does freehand, and he introduced me to Instagram. And I was like, at this point, I was like, what is this magnificent app you're using?
Right.
Like, that's Instagram. And I didn't understand it. I remember I downloaded the app and uploaded a picture, and there was a very popular hashtag going around, like hashtag save Bryson, whatever. So I was like, okay, seems popular. I'll just hashtag that. Then I look again in my phone, and people are talking shit to me because apparently that is like a kid who has cancer, and I'm using his hashtag, and I had to start like I apologize.
Right.
And I didn't even know how to delete the picture.
Yeah.
So like if you go on Instagram, I have like a dead account somewhere that I can't remember the password. Like 2 accounts on Instagram, and if you want to see like,
hate.
No, not hate. Oh, hatred as well. But you can go to my main one and see that.
Right.
But you can see like the freehand shit I used to do like 10 years ago. It's
Yeah, no, I saw it. All the hashtags are like hashtag me too, hashtag
Don't breathe. I can't breathe.
It straight up is. Like, I didn't know. I was just like, I was told like, oh, so how does it work? You just find popular hashtags and put them in. Okay. Hashtag save Bryson.
Right.
Hashtag me too. I didn't even know what me too was.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. And then, And then, I logged out of it, didn't look at the app for like 3 years.
Okay.
And then I think I started doing it again in 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was just like,
Did they save Bryson?
Is he alive?
I don't care. I don't know. Let's look up the hashtag. I mean, it's 13 years old.
Yeah, Danny, you look at that for us?
Yeah. I can't remember.
I hope it's a happy ending.
Not for me.
We do have a question from Michael. What is your favorite video game to play, and what is your favorite video game / characters to tattoo now?
At the moment, my favorite video game is God of War.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's dope. But it's also because I don't have time to play online anymore.
Right.
Have you tattooed
No.
any of your favorite guys before?
No, because like I only do freehand. So if anybody comes in with like a specific topic, I would just take that as inspiration. But
Right.
most of my clientele, like some come in with like gaming subjects.
Yeah.
But it's usually from Leagues of Legends.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, I actually just did a League of Legends tattoo.
Yeah.
For the first time ever.
I've done a few of them.
I didn't even know what it was.
Me neither.
I've done a lot of like Elder Scrolls stuff, especially Elden Ring and Bloodborne, but
I played Elden Ring for, I believe it was 5 minutes.
yeah.
And died. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
And then I was told like, oh,
But that's how you play.
Apparently so.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck this shit. I'll just play God of War.
Right.
Bryson's dead. He died. He passed away at the age of 16 on December
fuck off.
23, 2017.
Was it the hashtag?
Yeah.
What year?
Let's see. This one, comedian sensation Bryson Ricker.
Sorry.
This one's started in 2014.
Shit is crazy.
I'm not going to say it's your fault, but
Was it seriously hashtag save Bryson? Was it the right hashtag?
Yeah, it was.
That shit's in there. That's trauma.
right. Right.
Well, rest in peace, Bryson.
Also,
Wow. Okay.
I'll include it in the hashtags. Let's see. T Cook Tattoos says next question. Hold on. Ooh, we wiping from the front or the back?
The front.
The
Yeah, no.
Fritz, what about you? Front and the back.
I've reached the level of swollenness where it's easier.
Oh, nice. From the front.
Yeah.
Do you dip between your legs, or do you go from the back like this?
I dip between my legs.
Oh man, you've been doing it right. That's the way I do it.
Yeah.
It's like a kettlebell pull.
A what?
Kettlebell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so good at it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sick. Thanks, T.
Who asked that question?
T Cook Tattoo.
T-Cook.
Why did I even
that was
answer that question?
That was a great question.
Yeah.
I
it's
want
a
more
thing.
of
Thank
those,
you for
but-
that. Now we know I will answer anything.
He's also making fun of our bottle sizes, but hey.
Well, at least I have a bottle.
No, they're normal. He's just huge.
Yeah.
Germany. So what do we like? I went on a ramble like talking the whole.
No, that's
thing.
what
So
this
like
is
with the
for.
whole like Instagram whatever. Like in the beginning, I didn't need that. I had like Facebook. And I'll just post tattoos there, and then
Yeah.
it was like word of mouth to mouth.
Mouth to mouth.
Yeah, as we all know it. And then I actually stepped away from doing freehand for, like, I did it for a few years, but the clientele I had at that point in my life was like super, basically losers. Let's just be honest.
Just like family and friends.
Exactly. Let me talk. Let me tell the story. Okay. So the thing is, like, the people you surround yourself with, at some point you feel that you're like. Have you ever heard the term like the 5 friends you hang out with is you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You are
every
who
day
you're
when I
friends
was tattooing people that was kind of low lifey or whatever,
Yeah.
not everybody was like that, but like I would have somebody who was like super, like they would suck, like
Yeah.
real bad, right? And I would be like going home and being like kind of depressed because I was tattooing these kind of losers. And then I felt like, oh, maybe I'm a loser. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this particular style anymore because it doesn't, I'm not gaining anything. People kind of suck. People kind of want to be criminals or whatever. And I don't really I don't like that lifestyle or whatever. So I started doing near traditional and realism and old school, like anything else but that particular style. And I got really good at that. And I started doing like black and gray surrealism.
Yes.
And I did that for a few years and got really good at that. And then one day, like I think it was in 2018, I had a client come in. I was supposed to do his hands. And he told me that his boss had told him that he couldn't do it because like he would get fired if he did it. And he was like, yo, I can't do this. So like, what do we do? I still want to get tattooed today. I was like, well, what do you want then? Well, we can just start something on my leg, I guess. I was like, okay. I don't have, like, at this time in my life, I was an iPad warrior. So I was like, I don't have a design for you because, like, every time I would draw on my iPad, I'd do, like, a realistic design. I would do it the day before.
Yeah, it takes a while.
And I had done designs for his hands, so I was like, I don't know, like, cap, alt, delete, or whatever. And he asked me, like, well, you can do pretty much whatever you want to. And I was like, well, I used to be pretty good at this freehand stuff.
Right. Have you heard of it?
Have you heard of it? And he was like, yeah, you can do that. So I went into, like, I didn't even have fucking freehand markers or anything.
So you use crayons?
I went into my neighbor, or like I went into one of my colleagues, like, can I borrow a few Sharpies? And he was like, yeah. I went in and I drew this kind of bioorganic skull, which was really cool actually. And I just started tattooing that, and then 4 hours later, I have like done like his entire lower leg on the one side, and the session was done because it's like, well, there's no more to be covered. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Took a picture of that, posted it. Next day, the client, like, not the particular next day, but it escalated extremely fast because then my clientele came in. I was like, hey, I know I booked you to do this realistic shit. Would you do this style? And they would pull up the picture I did, and I was like, sure. So I did it again.
Yeah.
And then I did it again. And then I was like, this is my life now, because as we talked about yesterday, like all the stigmas with freehand tattoo artists, which I didn't know was there, but like now I realize it's like, oh, I never have to draw on my iPad again.
Right.
This is awesome. Right. I'm having my life back.
Yeah.
And because I had been doing so much realism, like all that, like my textures and shit, I could just adapt from that. So like if I wanted to do like burn skin, I know how burn skin look like from reference photos, or scales or cracked skin and all that stuff. So it's super easy just to pull up like a catalog in my head and just be like, oh, I'll just do this, and that. And then because I could do that, I could tattoo it very much faster.
Yeah.
And because I became faster at tattooing, I could increase my day rate and make even more money and work even less.
Sure.
And then it was,
No drawing.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so I just became much more lazy
Right.
because life just got easier.
Right.
And then I was like,
Hugo.
well, if I just Hugo, straight up Hugo, like for real, like what are you doing today? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I'll just show up for work, and my client will come in, and because at this point my day rate has increased so much from back in the days.
Yeah.
So those people who would usually reach out to me and be like, hey, I want to get tatted by you and want to get that freehand stuff, I would reach back to them and say like, that's fine. Here's my day rate. And all of those people will have one thing in common: they're poor.
Right.
So I didn't tattoo them, which kind of went over to that kind of took, I don't know the English term for it, but my clientele transitioned into being like the kind of low lifers to be more of the gamer guys, the people
Sure.
who go to Comic-Con kind of dudes, because everybody likes the villain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people will come in and be like, hey, I want this character or whatever inspired from League of Legends. Do we want to do that? I was like, yeah, because I like all that shit.
Cool.
Like, I'm just a nerd that just happened to be buff, I guess, or whatever. Like,
Right.
it's just, the typical type that gets my shit is either the criminal or nerd. They like the same shit no matter how they put it. And the criminals can't afford me, but the nerds can. So I just started tattooing all those gamer guys, and then I started doing, basic content of that, just pictures and stuff. And then I think it was in 2019 or something where reels would take off a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you would have to post videos of your work. So I just did that, and people still liked it. And it was I had a good following and everything. And that was kind of it, attention-wise for my work.
Yeah, yeah.
If you go over to now, where's the content that has more, what's the word, attention, right? It started at, I believe it started at a convention I was at, because I was listening to podcasts when I'm at conventions because there's so much noise.
Right, because you have ADD.
Oh, I have everything, Spectrum,
Right.
in it.
Right.
And then I was listening to a podcast with a very famous Danish comedian, German. And he was kind of he's a big deal where I'm from, right?
Okay.
And he was inviting people to come and do a warm-up.
That's right.
For his shows.
Like stand-up.
Hey, yeah, exactly.
Right.
So if anybody want to come out and do this shit, I'm offering you guys the opportunity, because so many people are always oh, I can do that. And he was like, okay, if you can do it, I'm inviting you out. And in that podcast, a woman reached out to him, and hey, I would like to come and warm up for you.
Yeah.
So she does that. She's horrible at it, but in that, fucking people are laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm I'm way more fun than you are, by a lot.
Than the woman.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
So on the plane trip home from Stockholm to Denmark, which is an hour apart,
Right.
I wrote a 20-minute comedy show and performed it at a Christmas party for 50 people. And I had a very, very good time with it, and people laughed. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to start doing this comedy shit next to my tattooing, because I've always had a hobby next to this. This has been my main focus to tattoo.
Yeah.
And then I had a hobby. Before that, it was strongman. Before that, it was whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then I started writing jokes or whatever, but I noticed that every time I wrote something, it was more one-liners or skits. So it's very much la 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 point, la 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 point. So the whole building up to a story that comedian does wasn't really a thing. And then my stuff kind of suited social media very well. So I started doing my...
your type of comedy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would say that. So I started doing the whole small penis jokes or whatever.
Right. Funny.
Funny, yeah.
Yeah.
On Danish, on TikTok. And then I gained a big following
How do you say small penis?
Lille tissemand.
Damn, it's way cooler.
I know, right?
Want to see my little tisma?
Yeah. Little tissemand. Little tissemand.
Tesla?
Yeah, that's another ongoing joke.
Right.
We'll get
Today
to
with us, I have Elon Musk.
that. Yeah, hello. As you can see, I have taken testosterone, so I can fit in my Cybertruck.
Right, I got tattooed.
So I did those skits in Danish, gained a big following on TikTok in Denmark for that, and then I started to do it a little bit in English because I talked to one of my colleagues, and I was like, bro, do you think this shit will work in English as well? And he was like, well, I think a small penis is funny in any language.
Right.
And then it kind of took over to Instagram because I don't know how the algorithm really works, but like if I post on TikTok, it will only go out to Danish people.
Wait, hold on real quick because I don't want to skip over this. So, did you make it to the point of doing stand-up? Did you do stand-up?
I did one stand-up show, yeah.
How did it go?
Oh, it was awesome. I could feel my armpits. That's fucking really weird feeling.
So you'd never performed before?
I've never performed before. So like
you did the Christmas party.
I did that Christmas party.
Which was a hit.
It was a hit.
Yeah.
I did 20 minutes like what you do when you write comedy, that you will do like 3 minutes. But because I can fucking hyper-focus like a madman, I wrote 20 minutes of jokes, learned it, by what's the word when you
memorized?
I memorized 20 minutes.
Learned it by heart.
By heart, yeah. And performed it, yeah. And it was a hit.
Can you give us an example?
Nothing would be funny in English because then I would have to translate it from Danish to English here, and it would also be difficult for me to do the punchlines.
Yeah.
Also, your country and my country have different types of immigrants.
See, that's funny.
Go on.
I know.
Yeah.
So you're
like
welcome.
you saying that is funny.
Yeah. That would be kind of the stuff I would do.
Yeah.
So I did that. Obviously, the thing is with it that I have found out is also like doing social media content like comedy is easier but also more rewarding in some way because you have a big audience. That's one thing. But you also have like copies of your work. Like kind of when you do a tattoo, you have a picture of that tattoo. Because I want to, caress my ego, want to see myself perform, I can just go in on my own page and scroll and see what shit I used to do, or if there's something I want to rewatch or whatever, and I can see how people are reacting to it.
Social media is almost like you said, like the audience is endless. It's almost like you start and you're just kind of in a dive bar. Yeah. And if you tell a funny joke, it turns into a bigger bar.
It really does.
And if you tell another funny joke, it turns into, more. It could be turned into a stadium.
It can straight up be endless.
Right.
And that's so awesome. And that's kind of what I got and am currently addicted to is if I do a video, like I'm stoked if people like my tattoos, but there's no greater feeling like if I'm at a convention and people come over like, Christian, I love your work, but man, you're freaking funny. That's just straight dopamine. It's just like, thank you. Fuck them tattoos. Right. Couldn't care less. They pay the bills. I'm here for me.
I like that.
Yeah.
So did comedy, it went well, but you decided social media was better for you.
It was better because I could see every time I was
You didn't like doing the stand-up?
I liked it, but here's the thing with it. Like, if you do a video that doesn't perform well, it is what it is. Yeah. Just do the next one. If you crack a joke, like there's thing in this world that hurts a lot. Like when Bryson died, for instance, that hurt a lot. Or getting tattooed on your ribs. Right. Or when your girlfriend breaks up.
Right.
But there's nothing in this world that hurts more if you crack a joke and you think it's funny and it's just silence. And no one fucking laughs. Right. The feeling you have when you perform in front of people, like you're live, you can't get out of there. Have you ever have you ever tried to feel your own armpits?
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like feel them. You don't touch them, you can fucking feel them, right?
Yeah,
I felt my fucking armpits, like the fucking sheer sweat and just nervousness of everything.
Were crying.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then you crack a joke and nobody laughs. I'm like, I've never felt so unpopular in my entire life, and I've been unpopular, but this is the worst.
That's the worst.
So it'll be like if I did like, let's say I did 20 jokes, right? And it'll be laugh, 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 not so much laugh, dead silence, a little bit of laugh, laugh, laugh. It's kind of like if you go to a math test or whatever, you do 99% right, but you only remember that 1% you fucked up.
Right.
So for me, I remember the show going well,
Yeah.
But I remember the silence so bad for like one or two or three jokes I did, where I was like, where usually that's what comedians do. They will do like, oh yeah, but you have to test your material. And I was like, I don't like testing. I like instant results now.
Well, it seems like also it could hit with different crowds.
That's
maybe it is a funny thing,
It was funny. It was extremely funny.
Right.
That's the thing. It was just the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So I have to, like 50 people saw that show, right? But when I do my social media content, millions of people, like potentially sees that content.
Right.
So the risk reward ratio is, if I do it live, it's higher risk, much lower reward. The sheer, I would say like reward, like the chance of me making it is like I have to put all my eggs into that basket,
Yeah.
And I don't, like, I'm putting all my eggs into that tattooing, and then one of the eggs is content. Now I want to maybe put another egg into content, right? But to do, like, stand-up, and, like, you have to travel, you have to do shit, you have to do it every weekend, and you constantly have to put yourself out there with the risk of failing. Mm-hmm. If I do social media content, I have TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram that can be online playgrounds. Yeah. And the worst thing that can happen is people will write a comment that is negative, but that comment will generate more engagement.
Right.
So every time I maybe have one hater, I'll have 4 people who like it. So it's kind of endless.
What's some of the hate that you get? What do people say?
Honestly, I also thought when I started doing it, because it's not very common to put yourself out there in Denmark. Like, you're not supposed to try and become somebody. It's much more dull. So I thought I would get a lot of hate. I haven't gotten that much hate. I've had some very, very funny comments that people refer to me as a jacked up Elon Musk, which that's kind of the most negative. People have a lot of questions with the whole, like, why are you tattooing shirtless? And I'm just doing people a favor, in my opinion. You're welcome.
Behold.
But like, I'm actually surprised on the I talk so much bullshit,
right?
And I lash out after everybody, like minorities or sexual orientation or whatever, and nobody seems to really fucking hate me, which is weird to me.
Would you like more hate?
No, because I take it, like, if people hate, like, again, like, I can have 100 positive comments, but like, I'll remember that one as like, unpleasant.
Right. Like the math test.
Yeah, exactly. I'll only look at that and be like, fuck. Like, putting yourself out there and getting all that negative feedback.
How would you handle a heckler in the crowd?
I wouldn't, because I don't perform live anymore.
If you were to.
I think, like, honestly, I would, mentally, I would shut down. I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd shine ripping someone else apart.
But that's the thing, like, you think you would. Everybody's like, oh, if somebody ever touches my woman, I'm going to beat their ass. It's like, no, you won't. It very much depends on the fucking person who's fucking doing it. Because you're going to, like, again, risk versus reward. If somebody's heckled me out in the audience, and it's, first of all, usually if you're performing live, it's fucking dark.
Yeah.
And you can hear a voice out there that's screaming at you. Usually, I'm going to put it this way. If you're in the audience screaming at me, I'm a big dude with fucking I'm tatted up, right? People are usually like, kind of like, okay, maybe we shouldn't scream at that guy. So if you're in the audience screaming at me, chances are you're way bigger and more fucked up in the head than me. So I'm not going to scream back at you. Like, risk versus reward,
Or really far in the back.
Or really far in the back. Yeah. So again, I wouldn't know, because I'm never going to be in a situation where that's going to happen.
Right. So you started doing the comedy. On the reels.
Yeah.
Then. You like that better?
I like that way better.
Right.
Because then it became more like character building versus the whole, like, doing just jokes. Because, I don't know, it's probably how my brain functions, but, like, comedy works when you make fun of shit that happens in your life.
Yeah. So
I would make fun of
Harry Potter.
Right. Or I would make fun of, like, the whole stigma about me is, I work out, I have tattoos, I don't wear shirts, so people have, he's like so much in his own head or whatever. So if I make fun of the fact that I have a small penis, people are like, oh, that's Christian, he's funny. So, like,
right, it's like a reverse.
It's funny, people love it. People love when you can joke with yourself. If you look like a stereotype, like a person who's like fed up with himself, but you can crack a joke on your own behalf, people love it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like disarming.
Oh, 100%.
What was it? Oh, when you started doing that, how did the people in the shop feel? Like the people around you?
So, again, like people where I'm from, like if you're trying to like separate yourself from the herd and become something, there'll be talk in the corners or whatever, right? So, but at the studio I worked at, they were and are still extremely supportive. These are the people, you know, that are holding my phones every time I have something to say and I'm cracking jokes. And they're not in the videos in English because we would film the skits in Danish. So actually, some of my colleagues are in my skits. They're just in the Danish skits. So they like it a lot. My friends thought it was funny as well, but it's never been like, so like my group of friends, it's always, they have always like liked me. For me, they don't like Boye Tattoo. They don't care about me. Like it's always been very equal or whatever.
They're like Christian.
Yeah, they like Christian. You know what I mean? So it's never been like I've never given them a video and be like, "How do you like this?" Yeah. But they were super supportive of it when they came out because they were like, "It is hilarious." Like when you do the whole like small penis, Elon Musk, whatever. It's funny. So again, when I started doing it, I thought people gonna hate, people gonna talk shit. And for some reason, nobody really did it. Not to my face, anyway.
Yeah, probably behind your back.
Oh, 100%. It's Denmark. That's like kind of the law there.
So one day you started and you're like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna make videos in the shop," and everyone was like, "Yeah, we support that."
It was more like I started doing the comedy shit, right? I wrote the comedy show. First, I showed the guys at the studio. I was like, "Hey, guys, can you sit down? I've written this. Like, I performed it a few times before I, performed it,
Practice.
Right?" And they thought it was funny. And then I wrote so much more, like, because I thought that after the show, I was like, I'm gonna be a comedian. Right. Like, this is awesome. So I wrote another show. I think on my phone at the moment, I have like 2 or 3. Like, I have maybe like a full special, like 1.5 hour of comedy in Danish.
Cool.
But it ended up being like the stuff I would be writing was one-liners.
Yeah.
And it would be very tattoo related. And then I would try to crack that particular joke to me because I would always test it out on my friends at the studio because we were tattooing. I was like, "Hey, listen to this. Is this funny?" And they would give a reaction, yes or no, or we would twist it a little bit. And then I was like, "Can we film it so I remember it?" Then we filmed it, and then so like my content is very simple. It's like you film like here, and then you zoom in on me, like have like the quote of the day or whatever.
Sure.
And then I was like, that's kind of funny. And then I posted that on TikTok in Danish, and it took off. And that's how I was like, I showed the guys, and I was like, "Yo, look at this. This video have gained like fucking 300,000 views." And that's a lot, like it's a lot anywhere. Yeah. But in Denmark, we're only 5.5 million people. Right. Not everybody has TikTok. So like to gain 300,000 views, that's all Danish. It is extremely, like that's a lot. So we did another video, and they all just fucking, and I took off, and all of a sudden I had like 20,000 followers on TikTok, all from Denmark. And that's when it was like, oh, I'm just gonna do this shit now. And then I think at a convention, I was explaining to some of the guys there, like my colleagues from overseas, or actually I think I spoke with Sebastian from Corpse Painter Tattoo and explained what I was doing. And he was like, "Can you tell me one of these like skits?" Because I showed it in Danish, and obviously he couldn't understand. I was like, "Oh," and then I translated this. It's like, "Well, do you also have a small penis? Then you should just get a big tattoo on your arm. You still have a small penis, but now you're like drawing the focus away from your undercarriage."
Yeah, actually.
And he loved that, and that's where I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do it in English then." Then I posted like 1 or 2 videos on Instagram in English, saying that bullshit, put subtitles on, because I will mumble.
Yeah.
And then those went viral as well. And I was like, oh, so this shit actually works in like all fucking languages. And then I just started doing Danish content on TikTok, and then English content on Instagram. And then because it's kind of like, if if you're a kid and your mom tells you did something good, you want to do that again.
Right.
So the gods of the internet was like, you're doing something right. Like, we like this.
They blessed you.
They blessed me, right?
Right.
That's what you're thinking in the beginning. Is like,
Yeah.
okay, Instagram likes this. It's not Instagram. It's people that likes
Right.
it. So I was just feeding the people. And then I was like, okay, let's see, like, how far can we take this, right? And I started making jokes about things I think is funny, like the whole non-binary bullshit or whatever. So I started doing that, and people were still on board. It helped as well because, like, I had at this time at the studio, we had a non-binary apprentice.
Right.
I thought it was super hilarious,
Right.
and then we did that.
Did they like it?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
And here goes the comments. Okay. So we did that a little bit. And then we just did every time of like stigma that I could think about because my brain would just fucking, once you give a fucking rabbit a carrot, it will do anything to get
It's
it again.
exciting in the
It's
beginning.
so fucking exciting, right? It's fucking pure dopamine every day.
Have you ever said a joke and it really offended someone or it didn't go over well?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
I mean, that time or other times.
So
Because listen, like, I think you're funny. We have similar humor.
yeah.
I like dark humor. So do you. We take it over the line.
Yeah.
Anytime you fuck around in that humor, you're taking a chance.
Oh, bro, it is.
And no one's perfect,
It's
dog.
high risk. Let's see here.
They.
Okay, Bob. Oh no, I don't want to say it. Fuck it.
All right. So have you ever said a joke?
It was so close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said a joke. Did you hear the joke I just did about Bryson?
Yeah.
That was kind of horrible.
I thought that was funny.
It's funny. That's the worst part. It is funny.
Right. But like in
no.
person, have you ever like said something?
Yesterday,
Yeah, okay.
I hit a unicorn.
It didn't go over well?
It went over well
Okay.
because I would say that I don't know. I'm not inside her head.
Right.
I'm like, well, I'm assuming we're on good terms. If we
Yeah.
are not, fuck you. You know.
Yeah.
I'm European.
I'm European. You want to see a pass I have? You know.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't. I'll put it this way: if I've ever offended anybody, sincerely, I would like to say fuck you. I don't care. No, I would never like. The thing is, I would never come out at anybody particular. I would never say, oh, I've made this joke particularly about you. I'll do a joke about a stigma.
Yeah.
And again, it's just jokes. I'm not trying to hurt anybody.
Right.
Like if somebody would reach out and say, hey, that hurts me, I would say, then you're too sensitive because I know for a fact that it's funny. Like I'm not trying to hurt you.
Right. I'm trying to make people laugh.
Hatred. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Like I would still say like my content is super softcore.
Right.
Like it's not hatred at all. It is just funny.
Right. And then how do you respond when like you've offended someone?
I don't.
Okay.
Like straight up, I
yeah.
don't anymore. But because again, like for some reason, my content, I don't really get so many haters or people are like, oh, you can't say that. A lot of people, I think again, what happened is if I offend people, they unfollow me. And the people who believe the same thing I believe or think that the shit I think is funny, they start following. So it's kind of cleaning up on my account.
Right.
Where I thought that, oh, I am talking about this subject. It's going to go, like, I'll have both direction. But what happened is, like, the people who doesn't like me, they unfollow me and they ignore it. Typically, that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And the people who likes it come in for more.
So you're creating the short form content. How long have you been doing that?
I think
Like the skits and stuff.
I think the skits I've been doing for like 1.5 years, I would say. Yeah, 1.5 years, I think.
And then obviously you'll keep producing those, but do you think you'll do different kind of content or this will evolve or continue?
So I 100% think that it will have to evolve. Like
Right.
It has to, because that's the thing, like with social media. Like once you get the carrots, you know, you want to get them all the time.
Right.
So the content I did, let's say in 19, where it was all tattoo related videos and fast transitions or whatever transactions, whatever the word is for it, would not work now. And then I did the short punchline videos. those don't work so good anymore either. I think I could refilm them. The thing is also like I don't have any more to say. Like you can crack a lot of small penis jokes, but you're gonna run out eventually.
Right.
And right now it's like the skits are funny, and it's evolving now to, because I kind of want to do the same shit that you guys are doing here, where it's like multiple people, because I'm all alone doing it. And then as you said, I remember you saying to me in Germany, you were like, do you realize you're the only one in Europe doing what you're doing? And I didn't realize that, but it also made me realize like, okay, I'm fucking alone with this. Like nobody else is doing it. I don't know anybody else in Europe that is like trying to do content.
Right.
Well, if they do content, it's usually, you'll have a few female artists doing sexual content to obtain clients.
Right.
Nobody is doing it for the sheer fact to just have fun. You know what I mean?
Like the comedy stuff.
It's just comedy. Like I just do it to make people laugh, and then a side effect of that is I gain more followers and more clients.
Correct.
You know what I mean? But so every time I see other people from Europe doing content, they always have an agenda with it. It's like, I'll do this piece of content to gain followers, and those followers to become clients. And I don't have a plan.
Right.
I just do it because I think it's hilarious.
Right.
And I just want people to laugh. And then a side effect of that is that I will get the other stuff like kind of automatically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, a long answer to a short question. Yeah, it will evolve. Like right now, I'm trying to see. I've done a few videos where I play all the parts, where I'll play a client, a tattoo artist, a manager, and those are really fun to do because now I know how to like kind of like I do all the editing myself, and usually I do all the filming myself as well, because I have a particular way I want it to be made, and if I have like two of my colleagues are very good at filming, but they have a life as well. So if I'm like, hey, do you guys want to come in on Sunday and we will just film the whole day? They will be like, oh, but I have a life next to this, so I can't do that. Or they will be like, I want to do that, but then life happens, and one of them have 2 kids and a house he needs to renovate, and the other one, has his own life as well and do shit. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. And I don't want to so if I do it, I can spend hours on it being alone, have to work the mic, have to work the camera, have to work the angles, and it can be kind of hard. Because that's how I can see it also affects the content, like the quality of the content. You know what I mean? Where if now the studio I'm starting in they have a videographer associated with them, and him and me, we already spoke about we want to start doing content, he will do the filming and stuff. So I'm hoping that I'll be now I want to put an extra egg in that basket and be like, yo, we're just gonna figure out how much money extra I have to pay you, because the studio pays him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, yeah, but I have to pay you more because will specifically have you make content about me on your day off.
Right.
Because we have to do that because, again, if I make content during a live session, like you guys put aside, today, the full Monday to do the podcast and to do content. So everybody who's in on it loses a day rate. That's a lot of money.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everybody is okay doing that. And I'm like, oh, well, that's what we have to do to make this type of content. I know for a fact the studio I'm starting in and the studio I've been in and all the people I've spoken with, everybody want to do it, but nobody want to set the time for it.
Put the work in.
Yeah, it's like fucking Ronnie Coleman said, everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but nobody want to lift heavy-ass weights.
Right.
So everybody's like, oh, I want to do videos with you. I want to do this and that. And it's like that every time I go out. No matter where I go, they're like, I want to do some content with you or videos. I'm like, okay, we have to do this, and that. And they're like, oh, can we do it right now? I'm like, I haven't written anything.
Right.
Can you see there's music playing? We're 6 people here. Fucking the door is going in and out, in and out. People are on their phone. Like, no, we can't. It's too much noise.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to be here after work. And they're like, oh, I can't. I have kids, or I have a life, or I have Netflix. I'm like, okay, so what you're saying is you would like the carrot, you just don't want to pick it up yourself, but you would like me to serve it for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%.
That happens a lot, to be honest.
And it was because we were talking about it the other day. I think it came up with people kind of hating other artists or people hating on the content.
Yeah.
And maybe not realizing the amount of work that goes into creating it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it seems like now, especially like in the tattoo field, like everyone sees that it works.
Yeah.
So they want to do it. You know, even in the last couple of years, I've seen like crazy amount of people producing content, which I think is great. Like, yeah, go ahead, create the content.
It's awesome. It's funny.
But then like, it also seems like people will get upset at the people doing it. Like if you're succeeding.
Yeah.
Like you, like if you're succeeding with the content and it's building you this big audience, I mean, haven't you seen people like kind of get upset? Oh, back in my day, it used to just be about tattoos, or like, when, you know, why can't it go back to just posting good tattoos?
Oh yeah, but like, so I actually wrote, like, I'm doing a marketing seminar. It's like particularly about that stuff, because this is like how I see it. It's gonna be a long talk. Like if I have a full seminar explaining like what it has been, what is, and what will be. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the thing that so many tattoo artists, like you have different people, and a lot of the people, the tattoo artists, they don't seem to realize that, yeah, it's awesome you're booked today. I guarantee you won't be booked in 3 years. That's just how it is, because I am hungry. And I know for a fact that I'm super fucking hungry, but I also know that there's somebody out there who's hungrier. And like my ego ain't that big. You know what I mean? So I don't mind taking my shirt off, taking my pants off, having a good time to obtain the things that need to be done on these platforms to get what I want. So when I see, let's say, it's kind of like listening to a dude at a gym that's smaller than me telling me what I should do. Right. Where I'm like, if somebody's like, well, back in my days, I didn't even have to post a picture. People just knew that I was awesome. So you shouldn't have to do that. And I'm like, nice story, bro. Back in the days, they used to be like, the TVs used to be this big, and now they're this small. You know what I mean? And a cell phone used to have an antenna coming out. Like, shit's evolving.
Right.
Like, I haven't read a newspaper for years. I would never do that. I would just look up shit I need online. Right. So when people like when I see that quote unquote haters, tattoo haters, like they are like, oh, you shouldn't do that because like you should just post. It should be enough just to post your work. I'm like, well, if it depends on what you're trying to do, really. Like, yeah, it's if you're just trying to sell product, yeah, that's fine. Try and see how much product you can sell and see how that goes. Or you could like start seeing it for what it is. Like, again, this, you didn't ask me this, but this is how I see Instagram, or I know how Instagram works, because they have, you know, the founders or like the board of Instagram has come out and said publicly, like, stop trying to sell shit on our fucking platform. This is not Facebook Marketplace. Right. So stop doing it. This is an entertainment platform, and our only agenda is to keep you on the fucking screen. And the only one who's gonna make money on this is Instagram and Facebook and Meta. Nobody else. You know what I mean? So I see Instagram as a channel, like a TV channel. I would never go to, like, if you're sitting at a TV and you're zapping along, when the fuck would you ever stop on a TV channel that only shows fucking commercials and product? Right. You need to treat your Instagram, your social media platforms, if you're a tattoo artist, as a TV, like a TV station. So you need to have content, commercial break where you sell your tattoos, content, commercial break. That's what you need to do. Right. If you constantly just have commercial, like every time I see it, boring. It's so fucking boring. Yeah. And that's kind of the thing, like, usually the people who are like, oh, I used to post a picture, I'm like, bro, your ego must be like humongous, like so big, because if you think that you are so great that you can just post your shit and that's enough, you are either, again, old school, like you hit that wave, wave. Yeah. Back in 2012, 2013, you went viral. You gained like 500,000 followers. Good for you. I didn't. Like, I have to do this shit. Right. And I love doing it. I think it's funny. I enjoy doing it, and I understand there's a lot of tattoo artists out there who doesn't enjoy it and don't want to do it. And I'm like, that's fine. You don't have to, but then you gotta have to spend the money. Right. And I might have told you about this, but I've definitely talked about it before. Like, I remember when we were creating the content and the audience was built and the attention was going up. You know, I had a lot of tattooers, like big, very amazing, talented tattooers,
let me know that they were upset with me because they're like, there were rules to tattooing. It was be the best tattooer, get the most attention. And they were upset that I was breaking the rules, that I was not the best tattooer and also getting attention. Does that make sense? Right?
100%.
And even people...
You're not the best, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And even people that I'm like friends with today, like saying like, dude, when I first saw you, I fucking hated you. Because you're like getting all this attention, and they were like looking at my work and they're like, I'm better than this guy at tattooing. Why is he getting more attention? You know? But then also having that attention gave me pressure to get better at tattooing.
Yeah, it makes sense for sure.
So it was just like a different angle, a different approach, a different like form of marketing. And I think people really understand that now in the tattoo world, but it's no different from any other industry that exists. You know, it's like, I'm going to produce this content, whether it be comedy, whether it be informational, whether it's artwork, whatever it is, but get the attention to build the clientele, you know? In my opinion, like kind of everyone's like doing the comedy now, at least in US. And I just see it growing more and more and more. I think that was a very new trend for tattooing. But I think at this point it's not new anymore. Like people are doing it. Do you think there'll be another trend? Like what do you think's next? Or do you think comedy will just ride for a while?
I don't. So this is like I actually put this into my seminar. Is like what is now and what will be. So within the next 5 to 10 years, I 100% think and believe that we will have government regulations on all our content. Like they will have to go in and be like, you guys are spending too much time on social media. So there will be some kind of regulation what Instagram and all these platforms can do. So I think it'll go a little bit back to mouth. So it's good to like kind of build
word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Thank you.
I just picture you yelling into someone's mouth.
Yeah. Tattoos over here.
Open your mouth so I can talk.
Trend-wise, I don't think that, like for instance, comedy, in my opinion, is not a trend. It's been around for years. Like back in the days with Eddie Murphy's show and like all like comedy has always been there. So I don't see it as a trend. I see it
for the tattoo world.
For the tattoo world, yeah.
But that will never stop. Use it as like a marketing tool.
That will never stop.
Right.
100% no. But what it will do, if everybody is trying to be a comedian,
right,
it's gonna be more. And again, like if somebody's more fun than me and do better penis jokes, I become a has-been.
You'll lose your penis,
I'll
penis
lose
title.
My small penis, like what's left of it.
Right.
Anyways, and
that'll be a sad day.
Yeah, I'm prepared for it. It's not that much to lose anyway. It is what it is. I don't
because it started with sex. I think
sex,
like tattoos, like. Sex. Oh, I can market with sex.
100%.
Right?
100%. But that's I wouldn't say it's over with, but it's like it's kind of
right,
been there, done that. We fucked it.
Yeah, everyone does it.
Everyone does it. Everybody who's like saying they're not doing it.
Yeah.
Are straight up lying.
Right. And it's like cool. It didn't work for some people, and then they had to resort to comedy, right?
Yeah, maybe. I guess.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't understand the joke. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry,
I think like trend-wise, it's just like what like people are gonna have to look into what works in reality, like on TV, like series.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think like what's next really depends on the platforms. Right now, we're still like I don't want to see pictures. I scroll for reels or TikTok videos. Trend-wise, yeah, comedy is a big thing right now, but what I also see is a big thing is just straight up vlogging. Like, I don't really do comedy anymore on my TikTok. I do vlogging. I'll just say, like, I think this is weird. What's your opinion? So I think the whole, like, you have to build, it also depends on, like, what you want as a tattoo artist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to become famous or do you just want to make tattoos?
Right.
And both are fine. Trend-wise, I think that you have to have the whole like performance, like you do your comedy skits, but like I can also see like on your platform, like now you're doing the hey, a day in the life of fucking John Knowlton. Here is a 3-day tattoo I'm doing. I think that mixed with the comedy. So again, at TV station would be comedy, storytelling, product salesman, like everything will be, that's kind of not, it's not going to be next, but you're going to have to add that because people, and I can see that with myself as well, I have to be more out there as a person, as an influencer, quote unquote. Like people also want to see my personal life because I can see that the video of me, for instance, working out is just as popular as the video of my comedy.
Correct. So, yeah, bro. Yeah. Like, it's the same old story, but I'll spend fucking 3 days on a tattoo. You know, like feels like a million hours.
Yeah.
And then I post some dumb picture of my wife and I in Alaska, and it's like, you know.
But that's because the thing is that I've noticed is like, first of all of us, you know, have the same issues. Every person is the same.
Right.
Whether you're The Rock or you're John Olson or you're John, you know, whoever the fuck you are, you still wipe your ass either from the front or the back.
For you, the front.
I know, right?
Right.
What do you do?
From the back. I'm pretty flexible.
Oh, good for you. Must be nice.
Right. Well, I used to be bigger, and my flexibility was gone. And then I was like, when I turned 30, we talked about this, I wanted, like...
Wipe your own ass.
I wanted to use it outside of the gym.
Yeah.
Right? So my main goal was I'm going to cut down. I'm going to, like, lose some body fat so that I can shit properly.
I have a duvet.
That's an amazing goal.
We all have dreams.
What's it called?
I get that 100%.
The butt water?
What?
I have there's not a duvet.
A bidet?
A bidet, not a duvet.
You have a bidet?
I have a bidet, dog.
A bidet?
Right. Right.
Yeah. I want the Japanese. I want the Japanese toilets. Those are fire. Yeah. I just bought I have 2 cats. I just bought a self-cleaning litter box for them. Right. It's changed my life for the better.
It's good, huh?
Oh, bro,
I think I have one of those too. I do not like my cat though.
You what?
I don't like my cat.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
Mine are awesome.
It's like a step cat. Like it's not mine.
Okay, I get it.
It's like used.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, 100%.
It came with the girl.
Yeah, I know the package deal.
Right. So, and I always like leave the door open to try to like set her free, but she's domesticated. She won't leave.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to take her for walks, but doesn't.
Trying to take him for walks and then
keep
walking.
I'm like, look, my cat's so well trained, I don't use a leash.
Yeah, 100%. That's a car. She'll know.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any pets? Any German shepherds?
No, I have 2 ragdoll cats.
Ragdoll cats.
Yeah.
Nice.
2 fluff balls.
Cool.
Yeah.
Looking
they
at
are cool.
ragdoll
Do you
cats?
take them for walks? Do you take them for walks?
Yes.
Are they trained?
Very poorly.
Poorly trained.
Very poorly trained. So it's like an indoor cat, right?
Yeah.
But like when you're a committed cat dad.
Right. Which you are.
I am a committed cat dad. I was actually super fucking offended the first day I got here because people didn't fucking see that I had my cats on my socks and a t-shirt that says, I'm the best cat dad in the world, just ask my cat. And a picture of my cat fist bumping me.
That was on your shirt the first day?
Yeah, and you guys didn't see it.
No.
I still have it. I can bring it tomorrow.
I'm trying to look at your socks. No.
Oh, well, no wonder you don't fucking wear a shirt. You probably had it on
dude.
for
I had it probably 5
you had
minutes.
1 second.
Yeah, that's true.
Top.
Okay, fair.
No one noticed my shirt
Nobody
today.
knows anything anymore.
Right.
So like for me, like I fucked up my cats so bad because like when you get them, like I didn't like cats back in the day because I had a like package deal wise, like my ex-girlfriend had a cat and the cat came with her.
Right.
And then she left and the cat did as well, and I ended up missing the cat a lot.
Wow.
And then I got
Plot
my own
twist.
cats.
Plot twist.
I know, right? Then I got my own cats, and I was like, I'll give you the best life in the world. And I was told by the breeder, like, never let them outside. I was like, okay, lady.
Right.
Don't tell me what to do. And I looked at them.
I got it from here.
Yeah. And I looked at them, I was like, you seem happier if I take you outside.
Why didn't they want to take you out?
So like the breed ragdoll is extremely stupid.
Oh, okay.
Like, and the way that they like the breed works is they can't survive outside because they don't have combat skills. Like, you know, a regular.
So you trained them.
No, you can't.
Okay.
Like that's the thing. It's just fucking fluff balls.
Block me.
Can't. They can't do anything. They don't have like you can. If you push them, they'll fall. It's hilarious.
Wow.
Like, they don't work like normal cats. You can fuck with them as much as you want, and they will never take revenge on you or be like not nice towards you. It's kind of like having a dog inside of a cat. It's just nice. It won't bite. It won't scratch. And won't do anything negative. But if it goes out to the real world,
I'll die.
they will die. That's why you don't see them outside. So I was like, I'll take you outside because my apartment is at the living room level, and we had like a backyard or whatever. So I would let them out and be like, you can only be here. This is nice for you guys. Be here. And then they, as everybody does, it's like, oh, this is nice. What's over there? The wall is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I had to close the door again. And now 6 years later, they will scream at the door to come outside.
Yeah.
So me and my girlfriend, we bought leashes for them.
Wow.
And we took them for walks. But the thing is, they don't like the leashes or to walk. They just want to be outside in like little areas.
Yeah.
So we would take him next door to my house apartment. Was a cemetery, very nice cemetery. Our cemeteries are beautiful.
Pet
Flowers
cemetery.
and shit. So we took them in there
Yeah.
for like a small walk or whatever, just to give them some air. So that's kind of like if I would walk them, that's what I would do. But I don't take them like a dog. Like, oh, I have to go home and walk my cat. Like I can't do that.
My cat would be fine
Yeah.
outside. Yeah.
Your cat would probably
It
kill
has
my
combat
cats.
skills.
Yeah, mine doesn't.
My cat will wait until you turn the lights off, and then you can hear her running, and she hides to wherever you're walking to. And then when you walk past her, she hooks onto you and bites you.
Yeah, she
and
sucks.
then runs away.
Yeah, I can already tell she sucks.
It's like from her perspective, I understand it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, it sucks.
Yeah, a lot.
Right.
Yeah. So my cats can't do that at all.
You got to teach them.
I would, but they're very, very stupid.
Yeah.
Like I've tried to teach them not to scream at the door because I'm not going to let them out. But
Yeah.
they're like, well, if I just stand here long enough, maybe you will let me out. Hasn't happened yet, but they will still scream. And we are on year 6 now.
Based on this cat talk, I completely forgot everything else we're talking about.
Yeah, me too. I'm just missing my cats at the moment, to be honest.
Do you believe that the longer you stare at a cat's eyes, they can see your soul?
No,
Do you think that cats go to heaven?
no, I don't believe in heaven.
What about Rainbow Road?
What is Rainbow Road?
Where all the pets go?
No.
Pet
I
cemetery.
said no.
Where would you like your cat
I
to
have
go
seen
when she dies?
that cartoon movie. Yes, that drawn on movie.
Right.
That's a great movie.
What do you
Great
think happens
movie.
to your cats when they die?
What they had, what will happen to them?
Yeah, what happens?
I will burn them. I will cremate them
Yeah.
because I don't want fucking worms to eat them.
Sure.
And then I will keep them in small jars.
Would you make it into a necklace?
No, I'm not fucking weird.
Will you put it on your chain?
I would. So actually, I try to I have weird gold shit, right? Like this
Yeah.
is the coin from Pirates of the Caribbean,
I noticed. Yeah.
and I have
Can't touch the water.
what?
It can't touch the water. That's how you summon the Black Pearl.
I've tried many times. And
Please.
the only thing, every time this motherfucker gets wet, the only thing that shows up is an Uber driver. And he still won money.
Are you Christian?
Aye.
Oh, I'm going to say that like, aye. So I have this, and then I have like a big gold hanging of Heisenberg.
Okay.
And
That's cool.
I tried to get the guys who do my gold hangings to do my cats like a coin with a picture of them on each side.
Yeah.
But the 3D print they made came out horribly because, they're in front.
Yeah.
And I want them to be like mouth open, like roaring or whatever.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looks like they're roaring.
Like a panther.
Yeah, they're not just standing there like, ah.
Right.
But the 3D, yeah, 100%. Like, the,
Down syndrome tiger?
what the what?
The Down syndrome tiger?
Down syndrome tiger, 100%.
Yeah.
Um,
Henry?
But it didn't come out very well. So no, and I already have like so many tattoos of cats.
Yeah.
I see Groot.
Yeah, I have Groot.
Rocket.
I have Groot. I have Ice Cube. I have my cat on the back of my calf, and I have a lot of cat tattoos.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
I think they're cool.
Me too.
So no, when they die, they'll be dead, and I'll get another cat.
Wait, what did you say?
When they die, they die.
Oh, when they die, they die.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this podcast is turning into a cat talk.
It
But
is.
I'm hoping so. I know that the Japanese people are working on some kind of medicine you can give to your cat so that kidneys doesn't shut down. Because usually what happens with cats when they die is because they die of kidney failure, apparently.
Because they are alcoholic?
No, I guess they're old or just eat that shit. I don't know. But like they will usually die of kidney failure, before you put them down. You know what I mean? Like you have, their kidneys are fucked up. So he's kind of creating a medicine for them or something.
So that they live longer?
Yeah. So
Don't
potentially,
tell my fucking wife about that.
potentially, this is for all the people out there. Potentially, your cat can live to the age of 34.
Fuck. What's that in human age or human years?
34.
Oh, it's way too long.
Human years. I would love that.
Yeah. To keep your dumb cats alive
For life.
That'd be. Your cats seem cool. I think
My
I might
cats
like
are
a
awesome.
dumb
I've met many people who are like, oh, I'm not a cat person, and then I bring them to my house and they meet my cats, and they're like, oh, but that's not a cat. I'm like, I know. Oh, I like him. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really like regular. Okay, that's not true. Like if I see a regular cat on the road, I'm like, oh, cat.
Right.
So can't lie about that. Never used a coil machine. Cute. I guess.
Right.
Like I'm the last generation to use a coil machine. Like I learned how to put a coil machine together. I think I can count it in total how many times I've used a coil machine. And then, the pens came out and like the whole Cheyenne era started.
Right. And you use the pens now, obviously.
Yeah, the dildos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
How do you feel about them?
I like it because it's easy and I can make more money now. Again, it's like everything's just gotten easier and easier.
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome. So in my perspective, like what do I think about people who has never tried to use a coil? I'm assuming you started tattooing within the past 5 years, which is okay. So why would you?
Right. And then you've never taken an apprentice, right?
No, but the studio I worked at the studios I have worked at had a lot of apprentices there where I would teach a little bit, but I've never had like, you're my slave or apprentice or whatever.
If you took one on, would you teach them about coils?
No, I wouldn't see any reason why to do that.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, you like young Padawan, you have to learn what has been. It's like, no, you don't. Like, it's okay. Like, you used to be, like, if I was teaching somebody to sew, I would do it on a sewing machine. I wouldn't teach them how, this is by hand, and we do this until we have a cloth.
Right. I understand.
That's a good analogy.
And then back home, do you encourage people to come here to tattoo or to travel the way you are? Yeah.
So I would say, do I encourage people to do it? Like when people ask me about it, I'm like, this is the greatest place on earth. This is the mecca of tattooing.
Okay. The U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I'll go to like European conventions, like I'm coming back and I'm like, yo, you guys should go check these out. These conventions are good. So I'm wondering if you come back and you're like, yo.
So here's the thing with it is like when I come out here, like I see like a big group of Europeans. Like once you gain a certain amount of followers, you become somewhat famous.
Right.
It seems like very natural that everybody's kind of getting the O1 visa to come out here because, to be honest, it's fucking great for us. You know what I mean? And
like
again,
especially money wise, right?
For me, like the money is a big deal. Obviously, like I want to make money so I can fucking live the lifestyle I want to live. But honestly, one of the reasons why I come out here is the clients out here respects tattoo artists so much more than European clientele does. Not saying there's nothing wrong with my clientele at home, though they are all awesome, but they see it for what it is. It's a fucking tattoo, it's a product. Where when I come out here, people are like, you kind of hit some kind of like a rock star status. For some of them, they're like, I'm so thankful for your artwork.
Right.
I'm so thankful for your time, and they appreciate me so much more. And again, it's getting a carrot. You get addicted to it. Where if I do it in Denmark, people will come, oh, thank you for my appointment. Here is the money we have agreed upon. Good day to you, and I'll see you in a month.
Right.
Where when I come out here, people are like, this is the amount of money we talked about, like we set the price, and here are the extra money. Here, take some more because you seem poor. Here's some extra money to show how much I appreciate you.
Right.
People out here are more appreciative. What is the word for it?
Appreciative.
Yeah, of what I do than they would be in Europe. In Europe, it's always a kind of like transaction between the artist and the client. Where here, it's more a question about, so the money isn't really an issue. The issue is if the client can afford it. Right. Where in Europe, it's like, oh, your artwork and your price is either wrong, like if you're not getting the client. Where here, when people reach out to me for the tattoo, it's never been like, oh, that's too expensive. They're like, oh, I can't afford that. Like, I don't have the financial money for that.
Yeah.
Where people in Europe can be a lot like, oh, that's way too much. Like, that's never an issue over here. It's just like, I can't afford that right now. I'll figure that out and I'll get back to you. If that makes sense.
And you don't own your shop, right?
No, I would never own my own studio.
Why not?
Because I don't see the economic benefit of doing so.
Right.
So like if I did that, first of all, I would have to take a step back from tattooing.
Right.
Because I want to have a great shop. And again, money-wise, what can be done in Europe contra what can be done here is two different sceneries.
Would you move here?
I would 100%. I'm probably going to move here in a few years just to try it out, but I would never live here permanently.
Yeah. Like, so permanent residence would always be back home.
Yeah, but as it is at the moment, I would say, yeah, I can't see myself leaving because I have a great, like, the thing is, I can talk shit about back home, but it is the greatest place on earth, in my opinion.
Sure.
That's just how it is. Out here is awesome when you want to fucking succeed, you want to grind, you want to fucking do that extra, you know what I mean? But when I'm done doing that extra, it's very nice to go back home and be good enough, if that makes sense. It's like when I go home, I don't have to put, like, I don't feel like I'm putting on a show here. This is how I am. But that gear I'm fucking going in when I'm in the States will wear me down eventually.
It's high speed.
It's high speed all the time. Like, it's high risk, high reward, and no safety net. Where when I go home, it's lower speed and a lot of safety. Like, you know, it's not a fantastic life, but it's a great life. You know what I mean? And it will never be fantastic.
Why won't it be fantastic?
Because of, like, the bar of succeeding where I'm from is, like, because it's a socialistic society. So the difference between poor and rich is not that big. Contra here, where you will have, like, straight up people dying in the street for hunger. But you'll also have, like, fucking mass millionaires. You don't have that where I'm from. You'll maybe have a few, like, very, very rich people. But I would say, like, being, like, super rich, like, if you're a super rich Danish person, you're probably just a rich American, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you go to my country, you won't see anybody really struggling.
Yeah.
And you have that, like, everything, it's okay to just be okay. Like, it's okay to be mediocre, and it's very good if you're just a little bit above mediocre. You know what I mean? That's why, like, that bar or whatever, we kind of like it here because, well, if we fall, it's not going to hurt that bad. And it's kind of weird, like, for me, like, I'm trying to go above that. And people are kind of looking up, like, stop doing that. It's different. We don't like it.
Like, why are you working so hard?
Why are you working so hard? What are you trying to achieve by doing that extra?
Right.
You know? And the thing is, like, here, the sky is the limit. Yeah. Like, the whole, like, just the taxes here, because they're so low, and you can just, you know, money-wise, you can make so much more money here, you know, from the tattoos. Like, here, you know, as we talked about, like, a day session in Europe is maybe $700 to $1,000. That's very normal. Where here, you know, you will have artists all the way up to $6,500. It's, you know, in my opinion, it's like, oh, that's monopoly money. It's, like, ridiculous. But people can do that. So if you have that amount of fucking liquidity or cash or whatever, you can do shit with it.
Yeah.
Where for me, like, I'll charge $3,000 for a day, and that's really fucking good in my opinion.
Yes.
But it also sets a boundary of my lifestyle. Like, I can live a fucking good life.
Yeah.
Because I make that money. But I can't live, you know, a football Hall of Fame life. Right. Somebody can, because it's like, oh, that's just because you haven't reached your limit yet. You don't even know yet. But that's the thing, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of the thing.
What are some of your favorite things to do when you visit US?
Eat.
Eat.
It's awesome.
What do you like to eat?
The first thing I usually get when I'm here is well, that's drinking. That's root beer, because we don't have root beer in Europe. Ooh.
Okay.
I know, right? Root beer light.
Root beer light.
Yeah, because I care. And
about
then,
your body.
And then donuts because I don't care.
Donuts are good.
Yeah, and then then I just like to like every time I go out here, like I'm very much like, okay, how is this guest spot gonna be? Are you guys gonna do your own fucking shit? Or are you guys actually gonna be like polite and invite me out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if people are like, oh, we're gonna do shit, awesome. Then it's kind of like whatever we do, I'm down. Whatever the cost of the food is, like I know, like I don't want to go to shitty places and eat because out here the food is better. Like it tastes better and there's more of it or whatever. So I like to go out and eat.
Yeah.
I like steak, obviously. I really like seafood, sushi.
Key lime pie?
Key lime pie is okay.
Yeah.
Tingles my tongue.
That was the first time having it last night,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
A little bit overrated.
Okay. Yeah. What about Universal?
Oh, that's so underrated. Universal is so... that's true, sorry.
I was like asking you what you like to do.
No, I was like...
Your first day here, you wouldn't shut the fuck up about
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we
like, I love Universal.
Oh, fuck. How much time do we have?
We're fine on
got
time.
go.
Yeah.
There's this magical place in Florida. So, like, yeah, but like, just in general, what I like doing here is like, I like to do like work. I like to make content because like people out here are funny. They want to make the content.
Right.
Sorry. But when I'm like off, if I have the opportunity, you can see the twinkles in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing greater than going to Universals, except buying the fast pass at Universal and be like, see you fuckers. Right. You don't even know it's gonna hit you.
You were talking about that. Like, if you have enough money in US, you
it.
can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can cut the whole line.
So that's where I am economically, right?
You can run past all the children in line. Yeah, fuck 'em. Yeah.
Fuck you, Bryson. You know? Doesn't matter anymore.
Right. He bought the fast pass to heaven, dog.
So, and that's the thing, like, because of where I'm from, we're all equal. We'll stand in line, like, when we go to an amusement
wait your
park,
turn.
Wait your fucking turn, right?
Right.
So, and it's always been like, so like the first time I got out here, I was here with my ex-girlfriend. We went to Universal and we were backpacking. We didn't have money for fast passes. Or we was like, oh, why do we need that? You know what I mean? And then I would hate on everybody who got the fast pass. And then the second time I was here and I got the fast pass, I was like, well, this is going to be my personality from
Step
now on.
aside, peasants.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So, like, I see it. That's kind of like my mentality has changed a lot over the years. I would be like, I'm okay with, I would get water if that's the cheapest option. Because, again, it's very, like, the European way of living, or I say the Northern European or Danish way of living is, like, I know there's steak on the menu, but I also know what a steak costs in the supermarket, so I'll just eat steak at home, and out here I'll have pasta, you know? Where when I'm in America, or like my lifestyle is changing, like, why the fuck would I wear a regular pair of Adidas when there's Yeezys? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, why would I take the shit from the mediocre shelf or the bottom shelf when I know that I can take something from up here? Right. I just heil on live podcasts.
I saw that. I was going to be like, from where?
From up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, fuck, that's
just like a Danish thing, right?
Yeah. Right. Fuck. So, if I've come to the relaxation is like, my happiness, I'm not happier the more money I have in the bank, but I'm happier the more fast passes and Travis Scott shoes I have.
Obviously.
It's like, for real.
You're spending too much time over here. I think it's changing you.
Yeah, but for the better.
Okay,
because
I agree.
The thing is, the more I'm here and my lifestyle changes, like, if I just work harder, or I do more content, or I do this, and that, my life here is greater. But when I take that home to Denmark for the people, and this is going to sound really like, that dude is like so far up his ass, it's crazy. When I do that at home, like, as I said, like over here, you're like, everybody's doing it. I know. Imagine me, where I'm at, nobody's doing it. Right. So I'm the only one. So I'm like a unicorn. Yeah. I'm the only one doing content. So I have all the audience for it. You know what I mean? And also, nobody really do all that flashy shit. I do that flashy shit. Bigger audience.
What's your favorite part about Universal?
Oh, Harry Potter Land.
Yeah.
I know. It's everybody's favorite. Right. Everybody, no matter what, like, what's the favorite thing to do in Universal? Get butterbeer and just go to the fucking Harry Potter Land. Yeah. And just have a good time.
And you bought the wand, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you bring it?
I didn't. So I didn't know. I came very unprepared for everything because I was actually packing up the studio before I left because I'm changing studio in Denmark.
Right.
And to look back at it now, because like you really like the character I play when I play Voldemort with the tape and everything.
I do.
I think it's horrible that I didn't bring my Voldemort costume. Luckily, we do have Amazon Prime, and I'm still here for a few days.
And we have Scotch tape.
And we do have Scotch tape, and I already have a pointy nose.
Yeah, it works for you.
Yeah, so we can figure it out for sure. I regretted it so bad that I didn't bring any of my costumes, to be honest.
I would like to invite Voldemort back on this podcast.
I mean, Voldemort would like to be back on this podcast. Yeah.
Could you imagine he showed up as Voldemort for the podcast?
Really, I mean, if I'm being invited back for the podcast, I will 100%.
I mean, you're not, but
Voldemort is welcome.
Correct.
Yeah. Willkommen. Yeah.
right.
German Voldemort.
I feel us starting to transition into
that's
skit mode.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
We'll end it here.
Let's wrap it up. Let's do some skits.
We'll wrap it up. We'll go do some skits. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Germany, man. Really appreciate it.
I'm excited for Voldemort to come back.
We'll definitely have to edit out all the times you fucking nailed.
Yeah, right. But it's live.
Yeah. I mean, that's the benefit. They don't see any edited out versions.
Oh, fuck him then. This shit ain't over.
Thanks so much for coming. Keep an eye out for his seminars. Keep an eye out for new content, all that great stuff. We're going to go make some content right now. Thank you.
See you in Germany.